What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my crypto journey. Of course, my name is Rodney. Do me a favor, smash the like button before we get started. But we are going to be reacting to Logan Paul's response video that he made for CoffeeZilla after CoffeeZilla made a 3-part video series pretty much exposing Logan Paul and a bunch of his friends for saying they were going to start this revolutionary cryptocurrency project. They never followed through with it. And at the end of the day, this looks like a big scam. Now, I've already seen this video, but I wanted to react with you guys. And this is probably one of the worst response videos for one reason, and I'll point that reason out right now. But let's watch this video and react to it.
CoffeeZilla. I watched your 3-part series called Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam, and like many on this platform, you have successfully used my name for views and money. While your work used to be impartial, your addiction to clicks has clouded your judgment, and you've made very real errors with very real repercussions. Coffee, you took a shot at my reputation, so in this video today, I'm going to be defending myself with facts, something that you have gotten in the habit of twisting as you continue to morph from an investigator to a gossip channel. You see, CoffeeZilla tried to work with law enforcement in the past, but his work was described as not anchored to truth and often speculative. He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, and he's nothing more than the Keemstar of crypto and finance. But as opposed to...
Now, to me, it's pretty crazy to call him the Keemstar. I think Keemstar comes from a totally different angle, right? It's not the same as CoffeeZilla. And look, CoffeeZilla is a YouTuber at the end of the day, but it doesn't mean that the work he's doing is bad or not true, right? I think we have to distinguish those two things. Yes, he's a YouTuber. I mean, all YouTubers want clicks and views. Obviously, that's why I'm making this reaction video, right? Because it's very popular and people want to see it, and it's in our niche. But, you know, he's also reporting a lot of different truths. So
just telling you, I'm going to show you some of the core discrepancies that I caught in CoffeeZilla's investigation. Coffee, you interviewed the developer who stole the game code, fled to Switzerland, and held it hostage for $1 million. Well, his name is Zach Kelling. Surely, as the internet detective that you proclaim to be, you would know that he spent time in prison for multiple felonies, one for aggravated robbery, armed robbery at a liquor store, and the other for, surprise, obstructing the legal process. I can see why you kept him anonymous.
Now, the hilarious part about all this is like, dude, you hired this guy. Why are you calling out CoffeeZilla, for not doing adequate research when he, was going after this guy for an interview or whatever to help his YouTube channel? But you're the guy who hired him, right, for your project. So where was your due diligence? To me, like, you can't start off the video looking that dumb already, right? It's just ridiculous. Let's continue.
Be calling Z here.
I guess among many things, it doesn't surprise me that he lied about having 30 engineers and a $50,000 a week burn rate.
On my end, I have 30 engineers. I'm burning $50,000 a week.
Which, side note, is how this delusionist landed on the $1 million code ransom, but it turns out he only had 3 engineers. Wouldn't someone with journalistic integrity know their credible source had not only an agenda, but a fondness for orange jumpsuits? Or did you just hear what you wanted to hear and moved on? Because even if...
Again, wouldn't you do a better deep dive into someone's background if you wanted them to work on a revolutionary cryptocurrency project that was supposed to be bigger than anything else? I mean, the blame's on you, buddy, not CoffeeZilla.
If you're lying to yourself, Steven, you still have to believe it. And I know what you're thinking. What type of idiot would work with an unsavory individual like Zach Kelling? I guess that's what I get for trusting the team that I relied on to vet and manage Eddie's hiring process, who has turned out to be a professional con man that I have since learned fooled billionaires, the Mormon Church, the owner of the New York Yankees, and now me. And surely you...
Now, and for this example, I don't really knock CoffeeZilla, because that Ibanez guy, he really fooled a ton of people. He said he was an orphan. He said he went to MIT. He worked for the CIA. He fooled a lot of people. I can't blame Logan Paul for this one, but still, he takes no opportunity to take any blame for this situation. At the end of the day, when you're the head honcho of a project, which he is, right? When you're leading something, you have to take blame for everything that happens that's bad. It's like if you're a manager at a company or something like that, right? And one of your employees does something or maybe curses out another customer or something like that. Although it wasn't you who did it, you have to take responsibility for your employee. And although not all the blame goes on you, some of it should go on you. And I think in this situation, it's exactly the same. Logan Paul really just misses every opportunity to take responsibility. He always blames it on someone else. And as we go through this video, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Knew Emilio, the gentleman who supposedly let his child invest in a cryptocurrency, was allegedly responsible for 2 rug pulls before you interviewed him. So either you missed that or you knew it and failed to let the public know. Why? Because it was a clear sign that he was also untrustworthy. You seemed pretty excited when the guy told you that he couldn't hatch the eggs.
Wait, you can't even hatch?
No, I'm telling you, it's just a picture.
You're kidding! You can't hatch?
You're kidding. You can't hatch?
You can't hatch?
Yeah, 1 second of research would prove that to be false, as you can definitely hatch eggs and even breed your animals.
Click on that. Oh, we got a duck.
And as you pointed out,
now this part was interesting to me because when I was watching CoffeeZilla's video originally, I was like, oh, I think you can hatch them. And he makes a good point about NFTs here. Logan Paul does. Not all NFTs are just JPEGs, but that's what they're known for right now, right? Just pictures and those sorts of things. So you could hatch the egg. So that was something false that's said by CoffeeZilla. And that guy he was talking about earlier that was involved in many other rug pull projects. I mean, honestly, guys, in this cryptocurrency space, I'm a crypto YouTuber. It's literally not even a dime a dozen. It's 11 times out of a dozen, right? It's absolutely insane. But CoffeeZilla did get that part wrong. You could hatch the eggs, right?
Out in your fine print, cross-hatching was available on ETH at one point, but you perpetuated the opposite as truth with your chest out.
Basically, nothing worked.
And by the way, guy, almost all NFTs are just pictures.
I'm telling you, it's just a picture.
And surely a real internet detective would not break criminal and civil laws in trying to get information, right? So why have you allowed the illegal recording of Jeff's phone call without his permission? And then more like an internet criminal, post it online.
Now, this was interesting because when I saw the record, and I see this a lot with CoffeeZilla videos, recorded phone calls, I know that it could be or is illegal in some places, right? It looks like they have the actual invasion of privacy penal code thing right here. But in some places, it is illegal to record people without their consent and then, make that private conversation public. I do know that that could be some sort of crime. Now, I don't know to what extent CoffeeZilla hit anybody with a disclaimer. I don't know what its process is, but I do have to believe that CoffeeZilla is a lot smarter than that to record someone knowing that it's illegal and to share that private conversation on the internet. So we'll have to see how this plays out, but this is actually an excellent point from Logan Paul because I was wondering about this exact situation, but I'm sure CoffeeZilla will handle it.
It was interesting. It was like, this is wild.
Now, although you didn't verify any backgrounds, substantiate any evidence, took multiple criminals' words as truth, and broke laws, you still published the defamation. However,
now it's really ridiculous to say that CoffeeZilla didn't do his due diligence on any of this. I mean, he's been researching this for a while now, I believe over a year. And I think if you watch those videos, he did a very good job at doing his due diligence. I'm not sure why Logan Paul is trying to minimize the research CoffeeZilla did, but it feels like CoffeeZilla really went through it to make sure this story was really, really good. But let's continue because this is where the angle is going, right? And this is Logan Paul's angle, not taking responsibility for anything and then pretty much saying, oh, this is defamation, I'm going to sue you. Let's watch.
unlike you, the blockchain doesn't lie. So let's highlight some things that you did point out. Crypto King Jake stole $6 million. True or not, we had already removed him from the team when we realized he was a bad actor and his motives were purely financial. Conman Eddie, lead developer, stole $1.7 million. True or not, when we learned he was a bad actor as well, he was immediately removed from the team. While myself and Jeff sold nothing and made nothing as verified through investigation and the blockchain.
Jeff, Logan's manager, to my knowledge, never sold. Neither did Logan Paul.
So this is very interesting right here. We know that Logan Paul and Jeff didn't sell anything when it came to these tokens for CryptoZoo. That is true. The Crypto King guy, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like after CoffeeZilla made his video alleging that the Crypto King guy stole $6 million or took $6 million from the project, and the Crypto King, he went on his Twitter and pretty much said, people are asking me, what am I spending my $6 million on? Then he says, whatever I want to. And then later on posts a picture with his watch and a Ferrari, which is absolutely stupid and a slap in the face to the community. That Ibanez guy, he sold too. But we do know that Logan Paul and his manager didn't sell anything. And that could be key in the future when I talk about scams and those sorts of things. Now, in my opinion, the common denominator in all of this is that it's you, Logan Paul. You hired all these guys and surrounded yourself with these people. Why, right? Why? And in this situation, if you watch CoffeeZilla's video, it seems like, you know, the Ibanez guy and the Crypto King guy scammed the scammer, right? That's what it seems in this situation, but we'll have to continue and see.
I repeat, Jeff and I made no money and will never make any money on CryptoZoo. In fact, we only lost money trying to pick up the pieces. As has been the case with dozens of crypto and NFT projects, the space is unfortunately ripe for bad actors to infiltrate projects that start with even the best intentions. Jake the Snake is no longer affiliated with CryptoZoo, and we hope the money he reappropriated was worth ruining his reputation. Con man Eddie is being investigated by a higher authority that I cannot speak on. As you can imagine, I was not cleared from legal to discuss much of this, including the legal process being undertaken and the criminal investigations going on during the fallout, but I do appreciate you calling out that rats under my nose stole the game code, millions of dollars, and left Jeff and I abandoned with no team and knives in our back. But even after 12 months of work, you've still managed to overlook one crucial piece of information. See, even though I've said it's coming so many times, you've assumed that CryptoZoo isn't being made. Who are you to decide when the development timeline ends? I got everything stolen from me in our community, stopped promoting publicly as soon as I knew the extent of the internal issues, took all of the heat on social, and you still published a defamatory hit piece fully knowing I was innocent just so you could enrich yourself in your $10 million studio. Sharp.
So here's the issue with this situation. There have been people in crypto that have gotten in trouble for not fulfilling their roadmap, which is their pretty much promise in the direction in which their project is going to go to the audience. So they're pretty much telling the audience, hey, we're going to do this and this on this date, whatever. That's called their roadmap. Now, CoffeeZilla assumed that the project was abandoned, and Logan Paul is telling us that it's now not abandoned. They're going to finish it eventually. I don't believe that. I think that Logan Paul was going to abandon this project. And the only reason why they're reviving it and going to continue with it is because CoffeeZilla called him out on the situation, and there's probably possible big legal ramifications for not finishing the project and abandoning it and wrecking all of your your initial investors, right? I think Logan Paul saw the writing on the wall and saying, okay, no, we're not abandoning the project. We didn't sell anything. We're going to continue it. Why are you assuming that we abandoned the project? But the reason why anyone's assuming anything, Logan Paul, is because you moved on to another project and didn't mention CryptoZoo at all until CoffeeZilla brought it up. So to me, this is Logan Paul just trying to save face. Let's continue.
But deeply unethical, dangerously misleading, and illegal. I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it. And maybe we could have talked about this if you had reached out to me, personally. Not my manager, Jeff, who is not me, Steven.
Yo, what is your manager for? That's what they're there for, because you, the influencer, the person, is really busy with a lot of different things. Look at Logan Paul's boxing. He has other things he's doing. He's been famous forever, right? I mean, he's doing all sorts of, he has a podcast, right? He's active on Twitter. He has so many different moving parts in his life. That's why he has a manager. So when someone wants to get in contact with you, they go to your manager. That's what the manager is for, guy. I mean, this is crazy. It's like, dude, CoffeeZilla reached out to you. He showed us proof that he reached out to you. He reached out to your manager. Your manager didn't tell you that CoffeeZilla reached out to you. Don't you think Logan Paul's manager would have been like, yo, CoffeeZilla called us. CoffeeZilla is big in this space, especially when it comes to situations like these. I think that Logan Paul didn't think he was going to receive much backlash for CoffeeZilla going public with his, 3-part video series. Or maybe he didn't think CoffeeZilla was going to publish it or whatever, right? Or he didn't think it was going to be a big deal. And now that it's such a big deal, because this is a big deal, this is the biggest kind of scrutiny Logan Paul has faced since the whole, Japanese forest situation, which was diabolical. And I still don't understand how he still even has had a YouTube channel after that, when people have been banned for lesser offenses, than taking a picture with a dead body, which is absolutely insane. But it's like, dude, CoffeeZilla reached out to you, my guy. That's what your manager is for. So this is a ridiculous excuse, in my opinion.
The first time you did was on Christmas Eve after you released your series, so you could rely on false statements and unreliable people used recklessly. The subject line was third request for comment. Yeah, not quite. This will be my third time reaching out to you and your team. The first 2 times were through your manager, Jeff. The first 2 times were through your manager, Jeff. Okay, so the last time on Christmas Eve, after the fact, was to me. You have a funny way of twisting things. And I also noticed you left out that part on Twitter. Why hide that? Trust me, CryptoZoo is coming. I will make damn sure of it. And honestly, it sucks that after years of personal reform, going through trials and tribulations and busting my ass to evolve into a person that I can say I'm actually proud of, you led the charge to drive and monetize a narrative telling millions of people that I'm a fraud or I tried to scam my audience. That is patently false. This video is mainly for my fans and anyone who's on the fence that I hope I can help understand a situation that is tremendously complex but has been oversimplified for both views and clicks. And lastly, CoffeeZilla. I now know your motives with this. Clout and money, good for you, but also you're slimy as so I'm not going to come on any of your podcasts. If you want to come on Impulsive and talk about this, that's fine. You've denied my invitation multiple times. You're still...
Now, this really confused me. It's like, you don't want to go on CoffeeZilla's channel, but you want him to come on your channel. So does that mean you want the clout and the clicks and the views? Is that what that means? So what does it matter if you're both going on each other's channels? Look at CoffeeZilla is a fantastic journalist. I love his work. I think he's one of the best YouTubers out there, and his work is very admirable, even though he dunks on crypto bros like me a lot. But at the same time, we know that CoffeeZilla is a YouTuber. This is the way he makes his money. The juicier the story, the more clicks, the more subscribers, the more views, the more money, all that good stuff. That's what a YouTube's end goal is supposed to be. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he really did do some fantastic investigative journalism in this case, right? I think he did. If you watch the 3-part series, it's fun, it's very engaging, and there's a lot of factual evidence in there, especially being someone that's involved in the cryptocurrency world. All the stuff that CoffeeZilla was talking about is very, very true. And keep in mind, he did mention the fact that Logan Paul didn't sell anything, right? Now, I think CoffeeZilla assumed that this project was scrapped. I think any ordinary investor would assume that this project is scrapped because Logan Paul was talking about it. He stopped talking about it and moved on to another project. A bunch of investors were wondering what the hell was going on. And I think the only reason why he was reviving this project at all is to be like, hey man, we were just taking a little break. I had to get rid of the bad apples in my project. When at the end of the day, Logan Paul is the one who put these guys in the project, who brought these guys on. Let's finish this video and I'll give my closing statements.
Still invited. It can be a one-on-one. If not, we're going to handle this ourselves while we continue to build Crypto Zoo, and I'll see you in court.
So I thought this was pretty interesting. He ended with the Crypto Zoo egg and those sorts of things. And of course, he's threatening to sue him. Now, I think this is a mistake, right? Because the internet is going to rally behind CoffeeZilla. In fact, CoffeeZilla's Patreon has exploded ever since this video came out. I think it's like double the size or something like that. So people are going to defend CoffeeZilla because this is a David and Goliath situation in a lot of people's opinions, right? I heard that opinion this morning and I'm like, that actually makes sense. Shout out to Meet Kevin, right? And it makes sense in this whole scenario. People see Logan Paul, some crypto bro, or some bro guy trying to sue and, pretty much talk down to CoffeeZilla because CoffeeZilla pointed out the fact that allegedly, he was trying to scam his audience. Now, this is what makes this more diabolical to me, and this is what really hit home all the points with CoffeeZilla's video. And not a lot of people are paying attention to this, but I see this a lot in the cryptocurrency world. Now, there was one thing that happened, right? They launched a token, and they had a little group chat where they talked about getting themselves and friends and family in on the project before they announced it to the general public. Well, why would they want to do that? Well, in cryptocurrency, even a lot of cryptocurrency products ain't worth anything, right? That's just the fact of cryptocurrency. It's the greater fool kind of theory, right? Which means that the person getting into the project after you is your exit liquidity. Obviously, if you get into a project before someone, the value of your cryptocurrency you have in that project is worth more than everyone else who got in after you, right? So if Logan Paul and all of his friends and developers and whoever gets in the project first, well, when they sell, they can, pretty much dump on the audience, right? Because all the fans and all the people that Logan Paul connects with are going to buy this cryptocurrency project. And it's kind of diabolical that him and his friends and family can just sell whenever they want and get all that information before anybody else does. Now, that could be some sort of insider trading. I'm not sure the legalities of this situation because it's cryptocurrency, it's unregulated. But to me, that was the nail in the coffin and why I believe CoffeeZilla at the end of the day. Now, in closing, I think Logan Paul has some good points. One, he's saying that, hey, I didn't stop the project, even though it seemed like that. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. He also said, hey, you can't record people, right? You can't record people, their phone conversations without letting them know. And I think that's absolutely true. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe CoffeeZilla had some sort of disclaimer, but I'm sure Logan Paul's manager is saying that that wasn't part of the disclaimer. And it seems that Logan Paul is pointing out the fact that CoffeeZilla is doing this for clicks and views. Yeah, obviously, that's what a YouTuber does. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. And it's going to be interesting to see how this situation plays out. Hopefully it doesn't go to court. Hopefully there's no lawsuits involved, because then it's not going to be public. We know lawyers like people to remain quiet. We'll see what happens, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.